What's good, everybody? Once again, this is SilentMode, maker, artist, and LEGO Enthusiast, and this is, excuse me, I believe this is the fourth live stream that I've done where I've been building these sets, these ZURU MAX Retro sets. Thank you for joining me, whether you're listening or watching live. I really appreciate it, and I have some good news today. I have heating, so I'm not freezing myself to death as I have been. Had a boiler installed today. It did mean having to stay indoors again, but I'm just glad to have heating in here and some hot water. I'm going to take my annual shower after this live stream. But we are going to be building the camera today. This wasn't chosen at random. I wanted to save the television set for last. But let's get right into it. If you happen to be watching right now or watching a replay for whatever reason, I hope you're doing all right. And in any case, I hope you're doing better than me. Things have been difficult, as you probably know if you've watched me for quite some time. I'm pretty sure it's difficult for at least a good handful of people these days, but today was a stark reminder that as bad as things are, if we look hard enough, we can see some good. We can see that things are improving in some areas, and it's important to always bear that in mind, although it's very difficult to see that sometimes, especially when we're in the thick of things. Anyway, let's get to building. So we got a sticker here. This is for the instant film print. I don't use stickers generally, but we'll keep that there for whoever wants to use it. By the way, I'll probably pass these sets on once this series is done, because I got no reason to keep anything. I just found these sets fascinating, and I was really curious about how they stacked up. There may have been a little bit of inspiration from the Gumball Advent Calendar as well. But yes, hey Kathy, how are you doing, Kathy? So yeah, this has been probably the first day since I moved in here that there's been some significant good news. I mean, there have been small victories along the way, but this is the first time I can say that things have been a little bit better, and long may they continue to improve. But hope you're doing alright, Kathy. I wasn't sure if anybody was streaming at this time. I couldn't see anybody streaming at this time, so I thought I'd take the opportunity while I can. Got a nice transparent snot brick here. I think Lego I know does one which has the studs on both the larger sides, which is pretty expensive. I don't know if they do this one in transparent though. We got two of them in this set. But without further ado, let's begin building. Hello there, JDP. Thank you for stopping by. How are you doing, sir? Never too old. How are you doing? I'm doing all right, thank you. It's a bit better today. I have some heat, so I got the luxury of heating and hot water, hopefully. So I finally get to take a shower. And you know, this is one of those moments where you realize just what you take for granted. Anyway, let me shut up and just build. This is a building live stream. Right, so Never Too Old has got his international debut with Foggy Moggy. I'll be sure to check in on that one. Excuse me, if I'm still awake by then, by the way. So yeah, we're doing the camera today, and then probably if I'm not out tomorrow, or maybe during my regular schedule tomorrow, I'll do the last one, which is the television set. It's one of the ones I originally wanted. Where are those pieces? There's one, there's the other one. Cool. Well, Never Too Old, you make sure you have as much energy as you need. This is a, well, I see it anyway as a golden opportunity to stream with a world-class YouTuber. Just learned the other day that Foggy is a LEGO ambassador. Okay, nice makeshift dinner there. So, speaking of dinner, I had a bit of luxury today, if you could call it that. So, over here in the UK, McDonald's is having a promo. I try not to go to McDonald's, even because it's not food. But right now they have a promo where they're featuring supposedly different menu items from different parts of the world. And included in the menu is what I had, supposedly from Canada. It was a double quarter pounder with maple mayo. It's actually pretty good, but it's not something that I would actively go out and have. And there are a few other items, supposedly items from Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia. There's one from Poland, even the UAE. But all those items are particularly expensive right now. Do they have the pizza? I didn't see a pizza item. Yeah, I don't think McDonald's over here ever would do pizza. No, I think I messed up there. That is not what I was meant to do. That's okay. Okay. Yeah, we have different places for pizza over here. But I do know, well, one of the things I liked to do, although I didn't always go to McDonald's when I frequently traveled to Europe, was have a look at the different items they had on the menus in different countries' McDonald's. And Can't remember which country it was. I think it was Germany. They had chicken wings in McDonald's. I've probably told this story before. Remind me, folks, at some point I should, well, in future live streams, I should set up a playlist and have some music playing in the background. Well, I wouldn't say it was that bad, but then I don't really have much to compare it to. But yeah, the UK, I will say the UK isn't particularly known for having the most refined palettes, which is quite annoying. There has been, I will say, there has been quite a craze with different kinds of pizza, supposedly from different parts of Italy. The area that I left, the area I used to live in, they've recently had an influx of pizza places, supposedly from different parts of Italy. But the one thing they all have in common is that they are expensive. Okay, making it, well, I'd be, if you want to make a song about 3D printing the Lego Empire, that would be interesting. I'd be very interested to hear what kind of lyrics you come up with. And I do think it's becoming a thing. Whoops. All of a sudden, it's okay to 3D print things in the context of Lego. Just a second. Just dropping things all over the place. There it is. Yeah, so much so that there's people going around giving free promotion to someone who's 3D printing a big version of one of the classic Lego castles, and there's somebody else who does 3D printing of well, I'm not going to say his name because he's got issues with me for some reason, but somebody who's been known for printing large vehicles, Technic style. So yeah, it's generally okay for them. Not for me, however. But let's not get into that. I actually think I think people should get into the habit of making their own pizza. It's it's actually not that hard. Excuse me. It just takes time. You don't really need special equipment. You don't have to get a pizza oven or anything like that. But it's not that hard to make your own pizza. Was it really like that with Transformers? I guess I can kind of see that, because if it's about collector's items and things, the idea of somebody just 3D printing things could be kind of seen as cheating, I'd imagine. But yeah, I remember somebody telling me once that it's not a good thing to be ahead of the curve. There's a lot of heartache involved in being ahead of the curve. Wow. That's awesome. I mean, I'd imagine that Little Caesars obviously made a heck of a lot more money from that recipe. Welcome back, Kathy. But I would say that it's good that they actually paid for the recipe. Okay, I think it goes like this. Kind of hard to follow at this angle. That's awesome. I wish that houses still costs. I mean, obviously money was different back then, but I wish that was still the price now. I'd be happy with just the one house. Okay, I think I've got something wrong here. Oh, I see. Yeah, I've heard of things like that happening, where a company will buy a product just to kill it, basically. Okay, I think I see. All right, got it. Yeah, I've heard of that happening, especially in my industry, supposedly, where a bigger company will buy a smaller company's products just so that they can kill it, basically, that they can stop its use, stop its development. And that I don't particularly like. It says a lot about the people who do it, I think. But what can we do? Now, I almost said something in relation to the Lego hobby, but I'm not going to go there. It's not the time or the place for it. Are we missing a... I was hiding right under this dish. Okay. And I dropped it. That is an awful shame. That is an awful shame. I mean, just the idea or something dying with somebody scares me, because there's so much. I mean, imagine what this world would be like if some of the ideas that were kept a secret for whatever reason were ever realized. But yeah, I'm being butterfingers now. But being in the creative space, I realized that there are some people in this world whose sole purpose is to prevent certain things happening. All right. Yeah, making some progress, and that fits here. Again, I'm really surprised at how many pieces came in this set, which was again, it was only £8 individually, or 2 for £12. I was really expecting something a lot smaller, but then I like being surprised. It does happen that I have butterfingers sometimes. My hands are quite big and these pieces are quite small. Oh well. Okay. Got these pieces again, these slope pieces, and there's a line going down the front. You can't quite see it there. You can, or very faintly you can see it. Okay. That fits there, and this goes here. Is there really a remedy though to, well, for people with big fingers like me, for holding on to pieces? I mean, I could probably opt to use gloves, maybe some cotton gloves, but then that would actually make things a little bit harder to manage, I think. So I bought these from a supermarket. So quite a few of the supermarkets over here sell toys. You can probably find it in various toy stores, maybe a Smith's over here. But these ones I got at Tesco. I was at Asda earlier today. Well, Walmart if you're in the States. I don't think they sell these ones, but they have some other similar sets that come in these balls. You may be able to find them in Amazon. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked that hard. Yeah, so over here, Kathy, we have a supermarket chain called Asda, which was bought by Walmart quite a few years ago. So I would suspect that if you ever visited over here, then Asda would be quite similar to Walmart. Oh my goodness, $19 on Amazon. It's probably because they're bulky, to be honest. to be absolutely honest. Okay, I guess we're building the lens now. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about your I guess your dream purchase, the massive transformer that you have to wheel around on the skateboard. See, that's the kind of thing that I would, well, not that I would actually buy anything that big, but that's the kind of thing I would probably only really consider if I knew I didn't have to move, because that must be a nightmare to try and transport. Okay, there's these snot bricks, very nice and transparent. And we are almost done with this build. I'll probably go slightly over the hour, but that doesn't matter. Okay, so this bit is the flash that we're building. Yeah. 1. Okay, I must have missed that bit. Doesn't matter. Gosh, this brings back memories, old school flashes. I had to stick these on top of a camera. Okay, that bit broke, but okay, that'll do. And then one last piece, literally, which is the photo. And they use one of these 6x6 tiles. I do like this tile. It comes in white in this set. I don't remember if LEGO produces these in white. I think they do. But on top of this tile, we're meant to include this sticker. I'm not going to use it. Instead, I'll just leave it blank. Let's pretend that the photo has just been taken and it's being developed right now. So there you go, that's the camera. What am I going to build next? I'm going to be building, in the next live stream, the last of the series, which is going to be this television set. That is unfortunate, well, it's just gotten into focus now, but that's the last one in the series. I'm going to do that in the next live stream. In the meantime though, we have just completed the camera, and again, it's quite nice. I never actually owned one of these original models. At least I did have an instant film camera at one point, and that was actually not very intuitive to use, especially taking it into a museum, but it's a nice bit of nostalgia. And that's very fitting for a retro set. So the obligatory display of the sets that we've built so far, all in order. And then at some point tomorrow, I'm going to build the last set, which is the television set, and thus conclude the series. And with that, we're going to call it a night, And it's just left to say thank you guys for joining me once again. Thank you for playing along as usual. And until next time, this has been Silent Mode, maker, artist, and LEGO enthusiast, encouraging you all as always to do your thing.